Man, our opening song is hot. You know, that little opening banger be banging, brother. Rebooted is in the building. Tall boy, how you living, sir? How are you living?
I'm good, man.
Oh, I
I'm
hear you playing in the background too. I hear you playing in the
yeah.
background. Okay, you trying to get all you trying to get it every which way you can.
Hey, man, it is what it is. Welcome to Rebooted. This is a
Mm,
conversation with two brothers that enjoy consumer technology. We're not trying to go over your head. We're just trying to hit you with some conversation when it comes to technology and just what's rolling out in the world. Shout out
mm.
to CMH Business Solutions over here on my IG. I see you. Please
Come on.
engage with us on IG. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Two
Yeah,
channels
no.
on my platforms. I don't know about you, James. Where
So
you
let's
at?
say you everywhere, huh? Listen. Okay, I'm over here. We trying something different. We on Twitch. Where my Twitch folks at? Shouts out to my,
Where
my
they at?
gamers, my
What,
Kai,
you say where them fans at?
where, where my Kaiser Nat folks at? I'm over there.
Where the
Yeah.
fans at?
What? Okay, I need that trigger. I need that trigger. Obviously over here, I don't even think I'm on Facebook. I know I'm not on IG, and there's a reason why I'm not on IG. We can get on into that too. But no, I'm over. Listen, this is the season for YouTube. February has been good over here on YouTube, so I'm gonna be attentive to that audience and say what's up to the.
You must have got some YouTube checks.
Well, the 21st, they come on the 21st, but it's they hit in the morning too, because listen, Alphabet pay early in the morning, so yeah, amen, amen. No,
Hey, man. Right after
yeah.
Resurrection Sunday.
Yeah, that so that that's
Oh,
that's what we doing right there. Listen, we got Dad in the building, so we official. We got Rich Vibes over there doing what he does. We got
hold up,
Stewart
Rich
Video.
Vibes in the building?
Oh,
Hold
come
up.
on, you know.
Let me find out. Shout
Hey,
out to Rich Vibes.
one
That's
more
my
again.
DJ overseas.
That's my
Yes, sir.
DJ.
That's our DJ.
Hmm.
Stewart is over here tapping in.
Yeah,
I see him over here on the Lab Tech Show YouTube. Solo just tapped in over here
love it.
on IG. So what's up to him? So yeah,
Yeah.
this is the start of the show. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us, James. What you want to talk about tonight, man? Before you start drinking on your adult beverage, brother.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. It's not adult. It's just little caffeine because I'm gonna do what I need to do at the gym tonight. So that's what we're gonna do. So we was a little late because I was over percolating. I was making my cup. All right, we're gonna talk about IG, Instagram. We're gonna talk about edits because they had the app drop today for everyone who pre-ordered the app. It was supposed to launch earlier in the month, and then it was supposed to not launch until I believe the 30th. But Lord have mercy, here on a Tuesday morning, Instagram decides to launch edits, which is. Let me ask this first: is it on Android platform yet?
I don't know. I don't know anything about edit, so you need to let me
Okay,
know what's
so
going on.
that's
I'm
that's
behind.
interesting, right?
I'm late. I'm late.
No, but it's interesting because again, you being a creator, a mobile creator as well, and someone who's fluent on the Android platform, it's just interesting that you don't know about it. So Instagram launched their tool called Edits today, which is their rival to TikTok, their rival to Cap. Really, they're their rival to CapCut. All of the features and functionality that you can do, right? You can take photos, you can take videos, you can make reels, you can make shorts, you can collaborate. You can combine all of those assets, photos and videos, add in filters, add in overlays, add in text, and do all the things, and upload those obviously to your Meta platforms, to Facebook or Instagram. I
So
downloaded it, this
is this a standalone app,
standalone app.
or is this inside of the
No.
Instagram interface?
So I'll do a demo too, and show you. It's a standalone app, and it's really interesting what they're trying to do. They're not. I don't to think, and again, I don't know. I don't sit in these conference rooms. I don't think they're trying to replace TikTok itself. I think they're trying to replace the capabilities of TikTok for video and photo editing. Real quick, on the spot, boom, I'm out there. I got these photos and I got these videos of this trip. I want to put them together and I want to share them with my social community. It is that today, day one, right? Just real quick edit. It's nothing real in depth. It's nothing real sophisticated. It's not a hard app to use. So if that's the mark that they're trying to reach for, and again, it's only day one, it's only been out 12 hours. If that's the mark they're trying to do, then they've made that. The challenge is, and here's where I'm coming, we're greedy. We creators, we mobile folks, we folks that are out there doing videography and doing content creation, we want it all. And we want it all kind of day one. So it's not in these first 12 hours, in my opinion, a replacement for CapCut. It If anyone follows me on Facebook or Instagram, I put out a reel of Easter, Happy Easter. I did that real fast in the car. It was like 3 photos. I put some music on it, and it took a couple of minutes to do it. So that was dope. But it's interesting that you say you don't have it on Android. I got it up on here again. It just
Well,
launched
I'm not
today.
saying that it's
Oh
not
yeah, there it is. It
available.
did. It did. No, it did launch on the Google Play Store.
Yeah, I'm just not familiar with it. Now, it's funny that you say that because I was on Threads today and I saw somebody speaking on this, and they were saying that it's not at the level of CapCut and they needed to, if you're going to come out, you need to step your game up when it comes to something like this.
Yeah. That,
Without seeing it firsthand, and I tell people if you have an iPhone, you need to really look into this Project Violet that's on Apple devices, iOS devices. It's an alternative to CapCut, but it does not have all the features as CapCut. It's one of those apps that slowly releasing on Adobe. So it's quite interesting to see that when TikTok got affected with the potential ban, keep in mind that when TikTok, or if it ever does go, CapCut goes with it as well. And so what are
yeah.
some other alternatives to move on your phone? And I think this is a release or a rush for people to say, or for companies to say, hey, we have an alternative for you for those mobile editors such as myself or somebody else that likes to
Hmm.
edit on their phone.
I,
So
I
Project
100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
yeah,
I think that's what this is for.
Project Violet, and then this Instagram app. And because Instagram is a popular name, if they run some advertising behind this, they're already suppressing our our content anyway and
Mm.
put their ads that are going to be free behind this. People are going to probably download this a lot faster and be open to trying it. But I think that there's going to be some hesitation until something or there's a definitive answer on what's going on with CapCut or with TikTok.
Mm. Really? That's interesting. I believe, and I'd love to hear what folks are in the community that they're listening and watching feel about that. I think folks are going to jump on this because no one knows what's happening with 47. And I never will say his name, but with 47 and what he's doing with Byte Dance, with TikTok, and with CapCut, all of those are all wrapped into one. Who knows? He wakes up on the
And
whim
not
one day and says it's going to go away. I would download it now just in case. Y'all remember when CapCut and TikTok went away for a minute because there was that drama, and everybody was up in arms. Oh, if they didn't already have it on their device, people started tripping.
well, like I said, some people just deleted it off of their app. I mean, off of their phones, and they made the mistake. Whereas if I would have gave it 48, 72 hours, people like me who kept it on the phone, I was able to
Well, you
once
got
they
patience, man. Ain't
restored
nobody got patience. Ain't nobody got that time for that. You got that
it.
trigger? Ain't nobody got time for that.
I just said that.
Listen, first of all, let's say what's going on to Digital Growth Hacks. What's up, Jenny? Man, Jenny's saying if Meta loses the lawsuit, they may have to spin off IG. Good point.
Mm,
Hold that thought, brother. Hold that
mm.
thought. Appreciate you for
Come
being here
through
with us.
digital growth hacks. I see you.
Yeah,
You got here dropping value. I see you over here.
in the
Um,
building. Rich says he
I
just
jumped on
downloaded it.
I jumped on his live last night, so he's just paying homage and giving that same
Amen.
perspective. I appreciate you. Amen, brother.
Amen. Well, so here I got it open. So I got edits open here on my phone right now. And again, this is that one reel that I said that I made earlier this afternoon. Um, the best thing that I see thus far in this is this piece right here. This integrated I'm a data nerd. I'm all about the numbers. But here I've
Okay.
got my entire history of all of the reels, all of the stories, all of the short clips, all of the photos and the videos that I've posted on the Meta platform. They're all
Mm-hmm.
in one location. They're all
Do
so
they show you your
this.
views?
Yes, it tells me everything from a views perspective, latest and my reach, number of new
And what's the
followers
name
that
of
I've
this app
gained.
again? You're gonna have
It,
me download it right now in real time. What's the
it's
name
called
of it?
Edits, brother. It's in the Google Play Store. Go get it. Go get it.
So shout out to Stevie's dad, DJ EW. What's up? Solo CMH Business Solutions. You guys are over here
Oh
on
Lord, you got us on
IG.
LinkedIn too. Hold on, you got some folks from
Oh yeah,
LinkedIn.
oh
Long.
yeah, yeah. We're on LinkedIn
Oh
as well.
Lord, let me sit up straight. Because it's
Oh
okay.
God, this guy.
We over there with the business folks.
Edits for Instagram. That's what it's called. It's
Yes, sir.
called Real. Okay, that's another one. So edit. So it's the second one on the Android. On the Google Play Store, edits an Instagram app. That's what they call it. So
This
I
is it
just
right
downloaded
here.
it.
There it
I'm
is
gonna
right
check.
there. That's it on your store.
Okay, okay, you got me down here. J Lee Photos, I see you. So look, there's a new app out called Edits. If you're looking, if you have pictures, say you're at an event. Last Thursday, this might have been great. Last Thursday, my cousin, she just crossed over and became an officer with JROTC. I was taking photos and I was editing inside of Google Photos. I didn't post anything. I sent all the photos over to her parents, but that would have been nice to be able to take all of the final pieces and probably piece them together, put some music behind it, and boom, you can have a final product. Is that
Hmm.
something that this would be for,
Yeah,
or
no, I mean, again, that's the purpose. Real quick on the spot, the commercial free music as well. So I had Lovely Day attached to this reel that I put out there. No copyright strikes or anything of that, which is good because if it's already part of the IG, already part of the Meta platform, and that's where it's coming from, it's copyright free. You're not gonna
Mm,
get it. You're not gonna get a ding. You're not gonna get a strike. You're not gonna get a
okay.
mark or anything of that. This is real interesting. I'm not going to play this too much because I don't know what's going on. But again, there's videos within edits, and I don't know how you get on that yet. So I need to do some more research. But you can actually start watching videos within edits. That's the part where they're going to try to replace TikTok, keeping
Mm,
everyone in one single app for creation, curation, sharing, and delivery. I
mm.
make it, I create it there, and then I click over to that play tab, and then I'm watching. So now I don't even have to leave to go through my whole engagement, my whole usage of looking for photos and videos. I can create, I can iterate, I can curate, I can do all of those things within one app. I think that's where IG is trying to go with this particular app, and that would be an interesting story to see how that takes in terms of usage for edits versus usage for TikTok or even usage for Instagram in and of itself.
So basically, can you post to Facebook with this as well, or is it only just posting to Instagram, or can you also post to Threads, or is it only Instagram?
So I created, like I said, I created this project. I'll click into it and show you. So put all my layers in there. And when I said export, I'm not going to export it again. It's actually pretty quick too, as well, because I did it all in 4K and it did it very quickly
Similar to
over cellular.
CapCut. I'm with you.
Yeah, similar. So there it is. Share to Instagram or share to Facebook.
Not on Threads, but still. Okay, so look,
Yeah.
for the people that are not understanding what's going on, if you need a quick photo or video editing app that's free, check out this software called Edits in the Play Store or in the App Store. It's right there on the fly. I see some people on LinkedIn, Nakia Miller. I see some people on Facebook. Emily. Oh wow, we got royalty in the building. Emily Salmon. Okay, out of Colorado.
You better say
Uh,
what's going on to Lisa Maria before you get in trouble. Don't get in
Lisa
trouble.
Maria. Look,
Well,
I
no,
got
no,
so many places that I'm moving around to. Lisa Maria. Oh yeah, that's
don't get
real
in
royal.
trouble.
Yeah, you can't get Nobody's on the I Am Tallboy page, which is good, but the Lab Tech Show, they know. I
They know.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an opportunity for you. I'm not going to talk about this tomorrow because I'm not familiar with it. I'm glad you're sharing something and putting me on the game on this, but I'm not familiar with it. But I will. I just downloaded it. I'll stay ahead of it. Stay ahead of the curve, and we'll see how it goes. And you let me know in the comments after you play with it. I think we
Yeah.
got one or two more episodes left. and let us know how it works out for you guys.
I will do that. We will do that. So there you go, folks. Just wanted to bring edits up since it launched this morning, and everyone is going to be Monday morning quarterbacking and saying good, bad, ugly, whatever. For the most part, it's decent. Again, day one, it's doing what it needs to do. I think again that extra piece of having the curation of other creators' video content built in the app, that's going to take eyes away from the TikTok, the even Instagram, maybe the Snapchat. I don't know where the kids are today. Where are the kids at? You know, I got two kids. I should probably ask them. I don't know where the kids hang. I don't know if they still hang out
Oh, I
on.
have another question. What
Yeah.
is the video limit? Is there a certain limit that you can upload? Like, can you do 10 minutes?
Mm,
Can you do 15 minutes of video and then you just chop it up as needed?
I have not figured that out. I only did that one early this morning, but I will find out. I will
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
will live stream or I will live record my drive from here to the gym. It's 15 minutes from here to the gym. So tonight it'll be me blacked out on the road. So we'll do that. I'll do a live test for you. I'm not an unboxing or a live test guy, but I'll do one for you because I love you. Happy Easter. Oh
So,
my goodness.
speaking of Easter, did you do anything for Easter that was special on your side?
Yeah, man. Of course it was special. Hung out with the parents, hung out with the family, right? That any day you get a chance to do it one more again. That's
Mm,
always a good thing. So yeah, we got to hang out a little bit and uh, go break some bread and go fellowship. So yeah, that's always a good time. Never take those for granted. What about you?
okay. So my grandmother invited us over for dinner, and which was pretty dope. And then I'm gonna see if I could do this. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it or not. That's not the one that I want to do, but I guess you'll get the concept of what I'm trying to do. I wanted the full image, right? But I don't think I have it on my phone. I don't have it on here, but I'm gonna share my screen if that makes sense.
All right.
And I did something. Share my entire screen, share my window, downloads. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna click this. Did that thing come up? Did that come up?
Yeah, let me get you locked in here.
Hold on one second. I know it's on the fly. I know you weren't expecting this, but I want you guys to see this. Oh, let me go back, go back, go back. All right. So you got me on the screen. Does it show it?
Yes,
Does
sir.
the video show?
There's
No, it's
no
not
video
showing.
playing. It's just your desktop of some images. Now it's just a
Let
picture
me
of
see
you.
if I can just do the entire screen and see if I can do the screen two. No, it's not doing it. Okay, well, look, it's not gonna do it because it should have popped up on the screen by now. But let's see. There it is. Here it is. I found it. Well, let me put it over here. There we go. See if we can get it on that one. All right, cool. I can. Man, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna share this right here. So my great grandmother, she passed away back in 1995, my sophomore year in high school. My great grandmother. I don't remember how old she was. And then the lady on the right is my grandmother, and she invited us over for dinner. And the one thing that my grandmother always says, if I could just hear my mama's voice one more time, right? If I could just hear my mama's voice one more time, that's is like what I would pay, what I would do, and all through the power of AI. I shout out to Sharente, Sharente Carr. If you see this, thank you so much for helping me curate this. I saw her do this, and with her family member that had passed away a couple years ago, and I said, how can I make this happen? And it's only a short video; it's only like 8 seconds. But there's another version. We had music to play with it, but you can kind of get the idea. This is just the landscape version, but I made it a vertical video, so this is the landscape video. But basically, I took an old image of my great grandmother, a current image of my grandmother, and I created this. Yeah. So that I thought that was pretty cool to be able to, you know, put this together because it was Resurrection Sunday. I figured this is a great time to do something like this, and had her in tears because you got to think, you know, it's a holiday. This is the real reason of Easter, you know, that kind of stuff. And I did it for her and her sister that was in town, and I mean not in town, but she came on this side of town, and presented one for her and one for my grandmother. And just through the power of AI, don't get me wrong, AI has its negatives and it has its positives. But I had some music to go behind it. And the funny thing about it was she was like, "Where's the rest of it?" And I'm like, "It's only 8 seconds." like, come on now. And then by the time she processed it all, it was like, this is so nice. This is so amazing. And so I share with you guys I know people have their guards up on AI, but you know, you have to embrace it because it is here whether we like it or not. So just to be able to see that somebody who's not really into AI, doesn't really care for it, but to be able to give her that moment of her mom who passed away back in 1995 and here it is 2025, to be able to give her that moment, man, that was just like I think it completed Easter for my side of the family.
That's dope. That's awesome. Now, how difficult was that to put together? Now, if someone wanted to do that, if you like show them the website or where to go and come with the still image and the other image, how difficult was that to put together?
If you know what you're doing, it's not difficult.
Come on.
But it was a
Hmm.
combination of Canva and a combination of free pick and just knowing how to prompt.
Okay.
So so it's a combination of a couple moving pieces that you have to do. But like I said, having that combination, finding the two photos that you want, merging them together, and yeah.
Sounds to me like a premium service that you could be offering to your
Oh
community.
yeah,
Ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, I'm over here throwing these flowers your way, but you better catch these softballs.
Hey,
Catch
look,
them
I've already. Hey, you want to relive that moment with that loved one? I got you.
for 9.99. So there we
No,
go.
yeah, so here's a question that I have, and
Yes,
seniors watching, you know, senior. I don't know if his parents are still around or not, or how long it's been since seniors' parents have transitioned.
it's been a
How
minute. Yeah.
much, how much would he be willing to pay to be able to get that hug once again, or be able to hear his mom or dad's voice? How much is that? It ain't no 9.99,
Hmm. No,
and
that's a priceless thing right there.
that's the one thing that my grandmother has always said for years. If I could just hear my mama's voice one more time, what I would pay. And so my thing was to be able to do this. I thought that that was pretty cool because it's like, how, and then all she was, how did you, where's the rest of it? And it's like, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, this is what I do, you know? And it was like, don't be cocky now. And it's like, no, just
Yeah.
when I've earned the right to be able to say this is what I do. And I didn't want to say that to her, but it's like it's a fine line between being confident and cocky. And I'm just confident in my stuff. You know, it's like I may not know how to do it all, but what I do know how to do, I know you don't know how to do it, if that makes sense. Uh, so I've earned the right to be confident in my stuff and say, I know you can't recreate this moment. Now, if you do your research the way I do, yeah, but to the average person, to senior, he's in the comments. How much if you could hug your mom or dad one more time? You know,
Hmm.
how much would you be willing to pay? And I guarantee you, he gonna say more than 9.99.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. You gonna say priceless. I know the man. He gonna say listen. There it is right there. Boom. Right. See, he 3 miles away from me right now, and I know what the man gonna say. Let me ask this. John's in the building. Appreciate you being here, sir. So was that Canva Pro? Was that Canva free? Does it matter?
you could do it free. I mean, if you know what you're doing.
It'll
I
probably
mean,
have a watermark on it though, if it was the free version. I'd
Uh,
assume.
I don't know. like, I just know I just merged the 2 pictures together, put it in a 9 by 16 frame,
Hmm.
and and then, like I said, I took the frame, put it in the free pick, created the prompt, and then, the problem with free pick is they have some free credits, but if you don't prompt it right, you can use those credits up real quick.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, you gotta turn around, and I had put some music behind it, and so, it's not the whole song. Remember, the video's only 8 seconds, but you get the "If This World Were Mine," and
Watch
I'm
it.
not trying to
Watch yourself now.
I
Okay.
ain't got no Luther voice, but you get the drift
Yeah.
of if you find the right song, the right, the right image, and then think that was a picture from I mean, I don't know how old that picture is, but she transitioned in 1995. That picture is much older than 1995. So to be able to recreate the old with the new, and then the one that I did for my aunt, she was sitting down at a restaurant, and I had a picture of a younger version of my great grandmother, and she literally got up out of the chair and came over and hugged my aunt in the prompt. I didn't ask it to do. I just said make it hug, and it
Mm.
literally had her stand. The picture, she's actually like I would say she probably had to be in her 30s, maybe her 40s, possibly late 20s, but she was sitting down and she literally stood up in the out of the chair that I had her in, and she came over and hugged her.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. But it's
That's
all
pretty
about the
cool.
prompt. It's all in the prompting. So,
Yeah.
I tell people prompt engineering, this is where it's at.
That's the part. There's the value in it, right? I mean, you can say, yeah, you can give them this priceless image, this priceless video, but for you, the value is knowing how to do that prompting. And again, that's could be and just another spoke in the TVE media enterprises there. So
Mm, mm.
congratulations on launching another part of the business, brother. You're not gonna sleep. Keep working. Keep
Oh,
working.
man.
There.
We always moving, brother.
I love
We
it, man. I love it.
we
Thanks for
always
sharing that,
moving.
man. That was pretty cool.
But it,
Um,
it but it allow but it allows people to have creative juices
yeah.
because now that you've seen it, now somebody else may see this and want to take it to another level.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I do. But if you don't know that it exists, and once again, shout out to Sharente. I want to give her flowers. I saw her do this, and when she did it, it was like, oh, well, what if I did it like this? And and then I put my little tall boy experience behind it, and
Hmm.
like I said, I wasn't expecting it to do what it did. So
That's dope. That's dope. Now, how can I follow up with other stories after that? We should end it with that, with a good heart puller, man. All right. Now I got just boring technology stories to talk about. Uh,
no, but you gotta talk about the cool stuff. Yeah, you gotta talk
yeah,
about
that's
the
pretty
cool
cool.
side.
We should have
You gotta
ended
talk
with
about
that
the
though.
cool
That
side.
was too cool.
Yeah, but you gotta talk about the cool side of
My
AI.
goodness.
Maybe the
Yeah.
timing should have waited to the end, but
My
it's
goodness.
a go with the flow type of show, brother.
That's it, brother. We just going with the flow. Listen, y'all got if you got questions for us, holla at us. You know how we flow. It's just I'll pull up websites. We'll do things on the fly, like you saw. Top Boy wanted to share a screen. Boom, we make it happen. So it is what it is. I do want to ask you a couple of things about a couple of other platforms on the social media side that are jumping off. And again, back to things that were happening with TikTok, with CapCut, with all these other platforms that we may have issues with moving forward. Folks were starting to maybe I don't know if they still are, but folks were starting to move to Blue Sky because it was the big Twitter exodus. Our challenges with Elon, uh, we can go into that too, but I don't want to. But so Blue Sky is trying to do something to help users get that blue check. Everyone want it. Every seems like everyone, at least on that platform, before you could pay for it to get the blue check. Everyone was always vying for that blue check to show that you were a verified account, that you were who you were. You had some status, you had some clout, you had some cachet. Now it's just again, you pay I think 14.99, and you can get Twitter Premium. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it is a symbol of something, symbol of status, symbol of recognition, whatever the case may be. It was a very trying operation to do on Twitter. And you notice I'm calling it Twitter. I'll never call it X just because I'm an old school guy. Blue Sky is trying to make that process of verification easier for folks. Again, there's a huge exodus when Elon took over the platform, and then when he started getting more involved in politics as opposed to working on the companies that he runs or is supposed to be running. What are your thoughts? I know you started looking at Blue Sky too, kind of when things were going crazy out there with some of those platforms. Have you still looked at Blue Sky? Are you using it? Are you posting? Is something like a Blue Sky verification, is that appealing to you for what you do?
So I think first you need to explain to people what blue sky is. I think that way you and I have this conversation because we know what it is, but to the people they probably never even heard of what blue sky is, right? So blue sky is the alternative to Twitter for the people that chose to leave there. It pretty much has the same functionality. I know Mark Cuban has moved over there. Some other major players have moved over there, but it has not fully taken over. That's first and foremost. I remember last year when Twitter was going through whatever they were going through, right before they called themselves X, Facebook created an app called Threads, and everybody moved over to Threads, but it was like
Hmm.
a Facebook thing. But nobody I don't know if people have really made the full transition over to Threads, if that makes sense. But now this new app called Blue Sky, similar Twitter style feel with X amount of characters, 1 minute video uploads. You can upload photos. You have your character count. That's pretty much it. Um, so that's what Blue Sky is for the ones that are not familiar. Now, to answer the question, I just posted something on there today. Posted something last week. I try to make it a point, and it's funny how I edit my promo videos now because you can only upload 1 minute worth of video. I'm now,
Hmm.
if you paid any attention, TBJ only does 1 minute promo videos because I'm trying to find a way to promote my content on Blue Sky
I love
and
it.
without doing two videos because I normally would just ramble off the top of my head and I would do it for the full length of the song. But now because of Blue Sky saying only 1 minute upload, I literally have to finish in 58, 59 seconds because 1 minute and 1 seconds is too long. Do I need a blue check or a verification check? I don't care about that.
Hmm.
I will always be tall boy.
Mm.
James Hicks or Jay Hicks is always going to be Jay Hicks. I don't think I really care about no check. And I'm not about to pay you no coins for a check. I
Tell the
just,
truth now.
I think LinkedIn, I think Facebook, I think Instagram, when they offered it as a service to where you could pay for a check, and I think you paid for Twitter verification when it first came out,
I
and
did
my
back in the day. Yeah, I did.
and I was like, you still gonna be James Hicks? I mean, okay. And I'm not trying to be funny with what I'm about to say, but I know it's gonna come out as if I'm being funny. If you only got 2,000 followers and you got a blue check, who are you to be you see what I'm saying? Like, make
Make it
it
make
make sense.
sense. Make it make sense.
Right.
So,
So,
let me
I
do
mean, you got
this. I want to bring them both up while you're talking because I'm bouncing between. So I've logged into both of my environments on X and on Blue Sky, and they are water cooler conversation, right? All the latest news, and you can curate, you can join lists, and you can curate what you receive. It's much more, it's less noisy on Blue Sky than it is on Twitter. But yeah, keep
mhm.
going. So I'm just gonna keep bouncing back and forth between the two.
Now, what I found with Blue Sky is I find it hard to find people, um, that I'm looking for, on Blue Sky. So it's like I don't even know the names that I'm looking for, and I don't like this long domain name that they give you when you're searching for somebody. I don't like that. So I mean, if they can find a way to tweak that, I think that would be it. That would be cool. But I mean, for the most part, it's an X alternative, and I think within the next 5 years, they will make some very big head waves coming. And I think the young lady that's the CEO of the company, she sold more merchandise
Yeah.
at South by Southwest with her um anti Trump. I'm not Trump. Her anti Elon Musk
Elon.
sweatshirt. She sold more merch based off of what she was wearing at her TED Talk keynote speech at South by than I think what the company had did in the last 2 years. So
Hmm.
that helped them with their funding as far as going into helping the product become better.
Yeah,
Um,
and help with more eyes watching it because it got quiet for a while. Not as much was happening with Blue Sky and the mass exodus from X. Twitter wasn't happening. So you're right. I didn't get one of them shirts, man. Why can't they buy your shirts? Listen,
I
Tall Boy
just
got
wanted to get
merch.
my tall boy got merch. Like wrong with
See,
me.
I
But
throw them flags out there for you again one more time. I'm throwing these flowers out there. Tall Boy got merch. Go and get his merch. Go ahead and get his merch. I see that was the one you put out there.
tallboy.us. Come on now. Yeah, come through.
Why was I not following you? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna correct that right now while we live. I apologize. That's why I didn't see. I'm gonna hit. I was not following you on Blue
Shout
Sky.
out to Solo because he said, "Tallboy, do you have patience for the new platform?" Actually, I do. Um, I don't like the fact that it's only a 1 minute video upload, but they told me what the parameters were. And when I upload the content, it uploads relatively fast.
Yeah.
Um, it's a clean product. And I know where he's referencing towards uh, our other platform that we have chosen not to discuss. Um,
Which one's that? X? Twitter?
Fan base.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about fan base.
And don't get me wrong, I think fan base has its
Yeah.
positive, but then it also has a lot of negatives. And I don't want to say nothing negatively, but just from a lack of professionalism, I
Mm,
just think that until they tighten up some areas for Android, I'm gonna
mm,
probably refrain from being over there. Now, I think that it works seamlessly for people on iOS, and this is fan base that I'm talking about. But I am spending more time on Blue Sky. I am spending more time on Threads, and
okay.
it's funny because people are literally saying, "Do you see this on Threads?" And I'm like, I'm just scrolling on Threads, and matter of fact, I normally would see you on IG. Matter of fact, I do see this, and I'm just going to hit the heart button, or I will, and I'm commenting more on Threads, not per se. I'm not commenting as much on Blue Sky because I
Okay.
haven't found people, but I think it's going to be hard to find people on Blue Sky. So you're getting a chance to meet a newer audience, but you just got to find those. I don't know what they call them, tweets or short messages. I don't even know what they call it over there.
I think you just call
Um,
it posts. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's going to be hard to find people that you're going to resonate with because one, they have not officially migrated over there. Number one, and then number two, um, who's really promoting Blue Sky at this moment?
Yeah. It's gotten less, like I said, less loud with the announcements and the mass exodus. I reckon more. I classify threads. Let me do this. I classify threads versus like a Blue Sky or a Twitter as a megaphone versus a conversation. Twitter and Blue Sky are more megaphones, one to many, right? One to your hashtags or to your groups or to your forums, and you're standing around the water cooler and you're standing on your soapbox and you got something to say. You're gonna get it off, and hopefully it'll mushroom out to people. Threads is more you interact more of a conversation. Like so you're liking things that are coming through your feed and you're having more of an engagement in my opinion with the folks that you are following and that follow you. So that's more of a direct conversation that you can have because that's all tied into the whole meta ecosystem, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, right? You got all that happening kind of symbiotically at the same time. And I've never used that word before, so whatever. That's going to be a short here in a minute. That being said, that being
I
said,
think I think threads to your point, but I don't understand because I'm not following certain people and they're telling me that I'm following them. And it's like, I didn't request to follow that person.
No,
What
you
if I
didn't. You didn't. No, you didn't have to opt in. That was part of the fine print. If you follow somebody on any other Meta platforms, when they launch and create a Threads account as well, you auto follow them.
Oh, wow.
That's by
I
default. That's
wow,
turned on by default.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not.
Because
That
I
was
may
not
not
cool.
wanna follow
Yeah,
you over there. I may not wanna follow you over there,
exactly.
but now somebody just created, because I get messages, somebody just created an account and you're now following them, and I'm like, "Hold up, I don't wanna follow that person over here," you know? Maybe I wanna remove myself from that interaction over on this platform. But, I mean, neither here nor there. People are still posting to IG, posting to TikTok more. So I'm not seeing the posts really come down their timeline on Threads
Hmm.
more so, because they're not over there just yet. But I do
Yeah,
think the landscape is changing. And I think that, within the next 2 to 5 years, we'll be hearing some new names, and then you'll be hearing Threads and Blue Sky coming out. But the verification, back to your point, um, I don't need a blue check
not
to be
important to
there.
you.
No,
Yeah,
I think the work speaks for itself. And if you just take 2 minutes, 5 minutes of your time to just scroll, you'll be like, he's got some pretty interesting stuff.
yeah, it
So, I
is.
mean, that's the way I look at it.
That's dope. That's dope. Solo was saying Threads is definitely more conversational like Twitter used to be, but Blue Sky is definitely showing possibilities. I agree. And it's our job as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, those in front of this technology to our job as me and Tallboy and you Solo as well, I think to be aware of all this. Right. So we can
Mm.
have those conversations with our community. Should I jump on the threads? Should I jump on the blue sky? And we can actually say X, Y, and Z or A, B, and C, pros and cons and things of that. Before I switch off of this, because I think that this is a valid point, and I do want to clarify. I don't have to justify myself, but I want to. This is a valid point. So this is my Twitter feed right here, and yeah, you see that I am verified there. I actually, so the first time I did Twitter verification was, yeah, because I wanted it, because I got about 10,000 or so followers on Twitter, and it was one of the steps that I wanted to do and needed to do to get to offering subscriptions on Twitter as well. Because I thought honestly at one time that was going to be my primary platform, because I had so many people that were watching and engaging all the time. It was my most active community. So I said, all right, I'll go ahead and pay for verification. Boom, I'll get the check mark. Then I'll start offering subscriptions. Then I'll start doing different types of things specifically on that platform. Then I migrated and went over to YouTube almost solely, uh, and that's where I'm at now. But I have tried to. I don't pay for it. They have. I think I'm caught up in a weird loop where I've told them, listen, I don't want premium anymore, and I told them I'm not paying for it anymore. I haven't paid for it in about a year, but I still have Twitter Premium. Hopefully, I didn't just
Hey,
out myself, but
well, you talking. Sometimes you gotta just know when to shut up and don't say nothing. But hey,
but you know what? It's
I
all
hope
good because
that
I don't care. So it'd be interesting to see if tomorrow if I lose that check mark. But it's a funny thing. Again, I haven't paid for it in over a year. So y'all don't out me. Don't call Elon because I don't have his cars anymore and say that you know James ain't paying for premium, but he's still premium. Hey, do what you need to do. But yeah, that's my story. All right, open my mouth. I'll be quiet now. What a comments at before I get in trouble again. What's up? You good?
I'm just letting you talk, brother.
You just digging, just just digging the hole. Let me ask you this then. Let's move on. Let's stay focused. Let's go ahead and move on to another story. And I told you I wanted to talk about something specifically that I don't like when these stories come out because they seem to be uh, leaving out a whole separate audience. So best iPhone camera accessories for pro photos and videos. In the iPhone and the iOS world, we talk about a lot about apps for the phone, obviously, because the apps are what would make it, and there are always these great apps. We always talk about also accessories. We were just talking before we went online. Shouts out to Amaran for tools that they release. So MagSafe lights that we can attach to our phones for digital content curation. But in the iOS world, we also talk about rigging out our phone. Right. Ever since we've seen Apple create most of their keynotes and their presentations shot on iPhone, and we're rigging them out. We're buying small rigs. We're buying all these other companies that actually Belkin. I can't think of some of the other ones. Tilta off the top of my head. But my question to you is: does the Android platform, do Android users get that wound up about mobile photography and videography? Do you have rigs that you attach to your Pixel? Do you have lights and cameras, and do you have all the and microphones that you attach to your phones as well? Is it such a big conversation on the Android side as it is on the iPhone side? Because we're always talking about jerry rigging our phones and creating mini cine rigs out of our phones.
Um, so you and I have had this conversation about how theater of the mind, right?
I like that.
And
Yeah.
and I told you that I'm big because I've seen with my own eyes how people have looked at me differently with a cell phone versus having my camera. But
Hmm.
you can't go into some places and get the content because if they see this camera, they can go, "Oh, no cameras allowed." Remember, I shot the whole Beyonce concert on where is it at? It was right around here somewhere. I shot the whole Beyonce concert on my Pixel 7, and it's around here somewhere. I just don't see it. But an SD, a 32 gig or 64 gig SD uh, uh, a hard drive, I mean, flash drive.
Mm.
And so while she was changing out sets, I was literally recording. Now I have the Shift Cam. Shout out to Shift Cam. Think it's a solid product. Um, Now you and I have discussed about getting external solid state drive on our show. I mean, on this show here.
Hmm.
We've also discussed getting mics from Ceramonic or Hollyland.
I like the fact that you got everything just right there in arm's reach. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's all right here. It's all right here. So so now I'm starting to slowly but surely see myself making purchases for the phone because when I leave my house, there's a whole accessory, there's a whole clear bag that I have that goes with me wherever I go.
Mm.
And wherever I go, it's got a wireless mic, it's got a battery, power, the J5 Create battery pack instead of taking the big Max Oak battery pack so I can have my phone charged at all times. Um, I don't have a light, so that Amaran is going to be probably put in the mail tomorrow.
Hey, man, let me see here. Where is it at? I'm lost it already.
So 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 to see these accessories, I'm starting to see myself slowly but surely be equipped with the equipment to be able to say, can you tell the difference between what I shot on my phone or that
Yeah.
I shot on my camera? And the average person cannot see the difference, and the average person don't care. They just want to see that you got the access because that's the world that we live in. Back in the day when I was doing this, did Tall Boy get the interview? That was my attitude. Now it's you know, if Tall Boy didn't put it out, where's the interview? It's like you should have got the interview. It's like, man, this is as far as I could get. So I think now it's if I can't get the camera in, I can record in my glasses. I can now record on my phone, and now you can go turn around and go put it in the edits app if that
Yeah.
makes sense, and edit on the fly.
So the answer to that is yes. You are starting to move into this ecosystem of
Of mobile
the
creation,
phone is actually dope. Right, the
yes,
phone is actually a viable alternative because it gets the job done.
yes.
And okay. So follow on. Are there? And I'm sure there are, and I think we've had this conversation too. I mean, DJI Osmo 5 gimbal. Are there gimbals that work with the Android devices as well? Are there rigs like from SmallRig or some of those others that work with Android devices? 'Cause that's all we see on an iOS side, right? Is again folks trying to make city rigs out of our devices because we've got all of these capabilities of adding cages, lights, microphones, this and that and the third. And I'm just wondering if you guys are getting the love as well. This is actually an honest question where I'm trying to show some love to the
No, we're
Android
not,
platform.
and it's funny because I've
Okay.
had these conversations with some of these companies out at CES,
Yeah.
and they tend to make their apps available for Apple. I don't know why it's easier to create an app for Apple first before Android. Um, so no, we don't get it. It's funny because this Zyke USB extended storage that I have here, they said, and I took a chance on it.
Hmm.
They said it was only available for Apple, and I was reading all the comments, and not one time did it mention Android. And here I am about to drop a significant amount of money on a 1 terabyte storage, and you're telling me it's only available for Apple.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that as an Android user. But once I plugged it in, it worked. And my thing is there you're isolating yourself from a whole market over here. And I guess, the cult of Mac, as you guys call it,
Hmm.
I think it's starting to really rub off onto these companies because their CEOs have iOS devices. Their employees have iOS devices. So they don't think about the other customers that probably don't have it. And so they say we're going to roll out product A through Z and we're going to make it Apple first. Look at SmallRig. They had the mobile creator kit and then they had a universal kit. So the mobile creator kit that they had, um, it was only available for iPhones and you had to have a particular iPhone to be
Yeah.
able to use it. But then they came out with the universal one. And I'm like, but it should have always been a universal one. But I guess
Yeah. You
the
should have
cult of
started that
Mac,
way, huh? You should have started
yeah,
that.
the cult of Mac looks at it as it's exclusive for us and us only. And unfortunately, you're isolating another fan base, you're isolating another customer base by doing this.
Yeah. I mean, let's get into that. So awesome fun things. What's happening, man? Appreciate you for being here. He says he knows why it's easier to create an app for the Apple. Apple development has predictable hardware. There are many different Android models. More can go wrong and takes longer to remove bugs on Android. That's a true statement. So I mean that's a viable statement, but again, I also I will follow on with that, and then if you want to chime in as well, I know that there's also deviation with versions, right? So Android OS is not the latest is not necessarily running on all the devices because there's so many OEMs, right? Because there's Samsung and LG and Motorola and Google and all these other places, all those others. Some of those devices and some of those varying different sizes may not be able to support whatever the latest flavor of Android OS is. All iPhones look alike. They all work alike. Everyone's running 16.4 or 5 or whatever the case may be. But that's first world problem. That's their problem. That's not the consumer's problem. Again, y'all know I worked for Apple for 10 years. I am a member, like you said, of a cult of Mac. So I'm an investor. I'm an ex-employee. I'm all that. I just think that some of this love should be spread across so y'all Android folks could have some of this action as well. So I'm gonna bring up these universal mounts from SmallRig. And what's up with you, Victor? We appreciate you for being here, brother. Android is also custom setup per model. Android, Apple is just Apple. Oh my goodness, Apple is just Apple. That's a pro and a con. that's a that's a good and a bad. So okay, so here we go. The universal. We're looking for flagship edition. Ooh, okay. What is that? That's dope for iPhone. Adapter for iPhone. Nothing. So I went to SmallRig, and no ding on SmallRig. We love them, right? Dope company and everything. So I'm over here just on. Okay, here we go for brands for Android. Oof, just one. If I go to Apple, okay, I'm not gonna beat this dead horse, but that's telling right there. And SmallRig is someone who we look to because they create some really cool, dope products. It would just be nice because there's multiple variants that you do have, right? Again, you've got well, LG doesn't make phones anymore, but you got the Google Pixels, you got Samsungs, you got who else is out there? You got all these other manufacturers, and
OnePlus.
right, can they all fit into this Brandon Lee all-in-one mobile video?
Well,
Maybe.
let's be honest. The
Yeah.
average phone is not gonna be no longer or no bigger than a certain size, whether it's iPhone or a 7-inch screen, 8-inch screen. So
Yeah.
you should already kit out whatever accessory that you're creating and make it universal for 7, 8-inch screens. Look at the clicks, right? So you just got that clicks device
Yeah.
that I sent you.
Yeah. I'm looking
You
for it.
made it you only made it available to and you had to have a certain model,
True.
phone for it to work. Now, why is it that you're doing that when you have a phone that is for Apple? You're just trying to make more money because if you don't have an iPhone 15, then you can only have the iPhone 16, but it doesn't work for iPhone 14. It's the same size phone. So you can say it's for the regular, Pro, or the Max and just make it universal for all of them, but you don't do that. So for you to say that this USB-C extended storage is only available for iOS, it's USB-C. Why is it not compatible with any USB-C device phone? If that makes sense. So why is it proprietary only to Mac? But then when I plug it in, you discourage the average person because how many people really read? If they say it's only available for iPhone, there's a monitor that I really want to look at. SmallRig came out with it, but there's a couple other monitors. It's like a selfie monitor because they always say that this camera is better than the front facing
Yeah.
camera,
Yeah.
right?
Man. Yeah. Keep
And
talking. I'll show you
so
mine.
now they came out with a monitor and it's about 50 to $65. Now on Amazon, they say it's only available for iOS devices. And I'm reading in the comments, is it available for Android? Is it available? And so there's about 3 or 4 brands that's on Amazon. SmallRig came out with it looks the same. The only difference is it powers up with SmallRig's logo versus powering up with the non-brand name logo that they're selling on Amazon. But it's the same device. It's still
Mhm.
USB-C.
Yeah.
And not trying to be funny, but didn't we just hear about the tariffs? And didn't they just tell everybody that, hey, you can get all this stuff for
You
two
better get it.
million
You better get it
five dollars?
now. Yeah.
Didn't they just tell everybody that this is available to any and everybody that wants it, and you can get it cheaper if you come over here through China instead of going through these companies? So why are you telling us it's only available for Android? I mean, for Apple or for Mac, iOS, and it's not available for Android? It's USB C. So I think because it's a play on words, it
USB
attracts
C.
because it's a play on words, it attracts the iOS user to say, "Oh, this is exclusively for me." And whereas the Android user, well, we need to find something else.
Yeah.
No?
I beg to differ, but yeah. So what you were talking about, I got one of those, and yeah, it's dope. I'm definitely gonna be taking these on all my trips coming up.
Oh, you got
To
one?
oh,
I was
come on.
not expecting you to say that, brother. The video monitor?
I got yeah, yeah. It's hot. It screen mirrors. So when you attach it, and it's MagSafe, so
Oh,
it
man.
attaches
I'm
magnetically. But again, it's USB C. But what I was going to say is, let's come on, let's lock in. Um, Man, what was I going to say? I don't think the iOS users are like that anymore themselves. I know that used to be the perception of I'm better than you. Look at me, look at me. What are you using? Uh, I think more and more are probably like me saying, "Man, I wish everyone else, can we all get along?" kind of thing. That yeah, you guys should have access to some of these apps first or soon as well, instead of waiting months before they iterate and go through beta testing or whatever. You should have access even to some of this hardware because again, now that iOS is now that Apple is USB-C, the world has already gone to USB-C. It was just waiting on us. There should be more coming in. I don't. I'm gonna try to be glass half full and think that users on the iOS side aren't as arrogant like we used to be. You know, we
Still
not
are.
as we're not as highfalutin. I'm gonna
Yes,
try to
you
be. I'm gonna try to say that we're not as
yes,
highfalutin
you
as
is.
we used
I'm
to
I'm not
be.
gonna say I'm not gonna say yes, you are.
No,
Yes,
no,
you is.
yes, you is, or is you. Listen, awesome, fun thing saying, just stop fighting it. Just come on over. I'm gonna buy you one. I will. I'm gonna buy you an iPhone next time. Next time we together, we gonna go to the I don't know the T-Mobile shop, Verizon. I'm gonna get you a iPhone. Get you an iPhone,
Keep
and
you.
we gonna make you use it. You gonna figure this out.
Told me you was gonna send me an iPad years ago. I still ain't seen that
You still
iPad.
ain't seen it. It went somewhere. It must have went to your
I
old
don't know what
address.
you're talking about,
Yeah, it
so
must
just
have gone to your
stay
old
on your
address.
side, brother. Y'all know
Okay.
how I am. I'm not converting over.
No,
I'm not.
it's all good. We say this in fun. It's all in love, though. But it's
Victor
all in.
says it's a formatting issue. I Something like SmallRig is not a formatting issue because there's no software that's attached to it. It's a standard phone. And then now that I know that this USB extended storage is available for Android, this device here, what is this? This is a hub, and this is a off brand. So Zyke was selling their hub for about $10 more than this two pan company on Amazon. And basically, this is a micro SD, USB C power delivery, and then also another USB C 3.2 and a USB A port that's on this device, right? And then
Hmm.
it extends to allow you to plug in another microphone and also charge your phone at the same time. They were
He
saying
he was talking
iOS.
about the storage. He was talking about the storage. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he was talking about the storage devices.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This
Okay.
is they said this is only compatible with iOS. Well, when I plugged it in, it recognized it and it recorded.
Yeah.
So make it make sense to me.
Make it make
And
sense. Lord have
so
mercy.
now I plug both of these in. And
Yeah.
so now not only do I have my storage writing straight to the device or
That's hot.
transferring from the phone to the device, but then now I have a port to where I can put a micro SD card. If I run out of storage, I can put it in that little slot over here. And then I got a power delivery to where I can charge my keep the phone charged, and I can also plug in my microphone through Hollyland or Saramonic, and then go from there. And then you got the USB A port for whatever reason I may need that for.
Yeah.
And now it sits on the phone so flush, and there you go.
Look at him, boy. That man over there, he got his own little
Or
cine rig going. I ain't
yeah,
mad at you, man.
I got my own rig, and then if I really wanted to do it, how about you even do it like this? I'm gonna plug this in with the adapter, and then now it sits on the back of the phone, and then it looks flush, and then now I don't even have to worry about it hanging from the back of the phone. Cause look,
Keep it right there. Keep it. Hold on. I'm gonna put you full screen. Do that one more again.
yeah, so now I got oh, there we go. So now it sits at the back of the phone, and look at what we got right there. So it sits
Wow.
flush on the back of the phone, and I'm good to go. And all I got to do is just put, and then it tells me how much storage I got left, and then we go from there.
Look at God. Look at God. Florence, we see appreciate you for being here. Yes, you said you made it. It's all good. Any time is the right time. It's not never too late. We just chopping it up. We just chopping up. My man, okay, awesome fun things. Here we go. I'm gonna put the whole I don't know if it'll fit. That's a long comment. Yeah, it doesn't, I'm sorry. It says my formula for success as a creative individual, Apple hardware for computers, phones, tablets, with Google and Adobe apps. Nearly zero Apple apps. Absolutely zero Microsoft apps. Boom. No hate, seriously. I agree with you. to an extent on that. Not much Microsoft in my toolkit either. That's pretty good. So Apple hardware for his computers, his phones, and his tablets. 100% agree. With Google and Adobe apps, so probably the Creative Cloud suite, obviously Lightroom and Photoshop. You can't live without those. And nearly zero Apple apps. That is interesting. Maybe we got to get Awesome Fun Things on the show to talk about that because that how do you do that and not have any Apple apps? But that's interesting. And then absolutely zero Microsoft apps. No hate. That's the way he goes. Mm.
Each his own.
Each day on. Each day on. Okay.
Does anybody have any questions? I know James and I are having this conversation, and I know you guys are probably saying this is information overload and what we're talking about. But we really want you to come in and chime in with us as well, because we're just going back and forth because we know this stuff. I was shocked that he had the monitor because I've had my eyes on it. I haven't even said nothing to him about it. So to know that he has it, but then we've been talking about storage.
Yeah.
And then now to know that he has
I got
he has
storage too.
a
Hold on.
device. See, look at him. He's got his storage device. I got mine. And the difference between mine and his is so big, whereas mine sits flush up against the phone.
Yeah.
So mine's flat, whereas his is taking up a big square or a big chunk off the back of his
Well, but
phone.
mine is MagSafe, so it attaches to the back. So it's about the size of three of those devices. You got two devices on the back. It's about the size of three of those devices. So
Well, I mean, like I said, do I really need that? Because it also has another USB-C port at the bottom that I can plug a microphone in. So I don't necessarily need to have this,
hmm,
if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. But this, I liked it. So yeah, again, like you say, each
Well,
their
you
own.
got
But
what you
I
like.
prefer.
No. You and then on top
Well,
of
that's what
that, I
that's what I
think
was saying. To each their own. I like this particular form factor because I can also transfer this. And I can use this for other on the fly transfer of data. So I got the 2 terabyte one, and yeah, this is hot.
and I think you got the 2 terabyte, and I
Yeah,
think we pretty much paid the same price.
same price. Yeah.
I got a 1 terabyte, but s- I'm just infatuated with the smallest ever, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
whereas you were like, I don't really care about whether or not it's the smallest ever. I just wanted to work. so
But we
so
do care about quality, right? Again, you get what you pay for, and we do care about. We don't want to be buying stuff twice. As again, you
mm,
travel, I travel, and when we get out there in the backwoods of wherever, when
and it
when I
don't
get to
work.
when I get to Tanzania, that's how they say it over there. It's not Tanzania, Tanzania. When I get there, I need this stuff to work. When I get that giraffe, or when I get that lion that my wife is trying to feed, and I just want to get that footage for the insurance company. I need to make sure that this works.
That's fair.
Okay, we'll leave that alone. Questions
So
are
my
coming
que-
in.
so I have a question for you before we get into the questions.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you when the product comes in, do you test it right then and there, or do you test it before you hit the road, or do you test it in real time and be like, this don't work?
I used to be the latter, where I would still have the boxes, and when I get to where I'm going, when I'd get to CES or somewhere, I would take it out of the box that night in the hotel. No longer like that. If I panned over and showed you this chair that has all these boxes that are unopened yet, it'd be embarrassing to you because I'm supposed to be doing videos on them, and I'm supposed to be. It's a shame. But now I do take them out, test them, make sure that they work, and make sure they fit into my toolkit. And if they don't, then I'll gift them to someone or whatever the case may be. But so far, these devices do work. I do need to take this one out of the box and use it before Amaran gets mad at me. But I got some other stuff over there too. Long answer short, yeah, I do now no longer off the fly. Just show up somewhere and hope and pray that it works. I do give it a little shot of testing first.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm sure I should be ashamed of myself. My wife is feeding the lion, or wife is food for lion. John, listen, my wife is insane. And she just walked in, so she's probably listening right now. So it's all good. I'm not telling no stories. She's not gonna hit me in the head with a frying pan. Last time we were in New Orleans, we were on the little boat down the doing the swamp, feeding alligators. She just all out the boat with the marshmallows in the hand of the alligator. We getting ready to go to Africa here in a couple of months. She gonna be all up in the elephant's business, the hippopotamus's business. I'm just gonna be there. Lord have mercy, making
You gonna
sure
still
that,
be you still gonna be in the cage Jeep while
bruh,
she out.
I'm gonna be standing next to my boy with the rifle. That's what I'm gonna be doing. They going hot air balloon and a couple of them too. I'm gonna be on the ground. Again, we don't have to go into this tangent, but I'm just telling you, my wife is that adventurous type. Love her to death. Bless her heart. But yeah, you think I'm joking?
Solo
They're gonna be lying, being fed video. I'll use edits and I'll post it online. So follow me on Instagram and you'll get that. Okay.
just make sure you got a life insurance policy
And
on there.
what's up to date? No, don't worry about it. Yeah, we up to date. They know us.
Solo
How does it?
says, what side how does the portable monitor work?
Yeah, so it is all it does is screen mirroring, right? So it will actually show what's on your iPhone or your Android device, whatever the case may be, and it acts as a screen mirror. So whatever you see on that main screen, it actually just mirrors onto this one, so we can use the larger, better cameras on the back instead of the front for taking selfies and for taking photos. So mount it onto the MagSafe onto the phone, boom, and I'm looking at this screen instead of trying to figure out where we fit into the camera. But
Now
that's
you
all
can
it does.
also
It only does. It doesn't know anything else.
you can also set it up to where it could be in your hand and you can
Yeah,
be away from it. So you could be back by where your TV is. Phone can still be propped up where your microphone is on your desk,
yeah,
and then you can frame yourself. So it does not have to be necessarily connected to the microphone. I mean, to the camera. It can be it can be in your hand, and you can say, "Okay, I'm framed well
yeah.
here, and I have an idea of what I want," and then record that way.
Right. USB-C or Bluetooth. So yeah, just like you were saying. So you can be far away, boom, set up the camera, have this connected via USB-C, which is, I mean, via Bluetooth, which is about 33 feet. Get everybody framed, be at it and go. So that's cool.
That
Appreciate that
you
question.
can find them. You can find them. SmallRig has them for about $65 on their website, but you can find them anywhere from 45 to $65 solo. What size do those storages run versus cost? So you want to talk about yours, James?
Talking about these. So mine was, again, so I got the 2 terabyte. I believe they were one, two, I think two was the largest. There
Yeah, it's
may
two
there may
terabytes.
have been a 512, but there was a one, obviously, and then the 2 terabyte. I think I've seen them as large as maybe 4 terabyte, but that seemed excessive for me. But so yeah, I got one. There's 1 terabyte and there's 2 terabyte that are available for these external hard drives for mobile phones. And SanDisk has a lot of good things. SanDisk announced some really cool creator mobile storage devices and peripherals at NAV. So you'll start seeing those at your Best Buys and your Micro Centers and places like that. But
Who is your brand by?
Orico, never heard of them.
Gotcha.
Don't even remember
So
where I bought it from.
So
But yeah,
mine is Zyke, and then ShiftCam, they have another one called Plank, and they both are promoting theirs as the world's smallest solid state drive for mobile phones. That's what they're promoting it as. I'm not sure whose is the best. Um, but Zyke, they were at CES. I did not get a chance to see them. Um, but they do have a 128 think it's 128, but I know 512, a 1 terabyte, and then 2 terabyte. And they actually have two models. So the new models had go up to 2 terabyte, and then the Gen ones only go up to 1 terabyte. So I think when I purchased mine, not sure what I was doing, I purchased the I purchased Gen 1 versus Gen 2. And the only difference between Gen 1 versus 2 is Gen 2 had a fan that
mm,
was air to get through, and I did not know that until after I made the purchase.
Yeah,
And I was trying to beat the tariffs before,
that's the
they came
truth, boy.
before they started rolling out. So I was like, let me hurry up and get this on March 31st,
Yeah.
or April 1st, whatever date it was. So, so that was price versus cost. I think I ran me right around 160, 150 for 1 terabyte.
Hmm.
So, so yeah, I mean, then they had some promo codes, but you have to go searching for the promo codes and you can get it a little bit cheaper. But by the time I realized all that, the damage was done.
Send me the link to yours. I found actually the Oracle on Amazon. It's interesting that the 512 shows as a frequently returned item, but the 1 terabyte and the 2 terabyte don't have that. So I'm thinking folks are seeing it and saying, "Oh, I should have gone with the 1 terabyte and the 2 terabyte." So now the 2 terabyte is at $200, and
Mm.
they yeah. So I remember when we got ours, it was a nice deal, right? Now that them deals are that's them tariffs kicking in. See, y'all, we told y'all to get them earlier. I know we've talked about this before on this show. So
People are not gonna move when we tell them to make the move
man,
because they don't understand what we're on another level, and they're not ready for what we're trying to tell them. So they're hearing us first, and then when they hear us, then they're like, "Oh, I need to go get this." And but you're gonna have to see it 2 or 3 times before you actually go make the purchase, if that makes sense.
everybody got jokes about my Africa trip. Okay, y'all just keep like I say, follow me on Instagram. It's gonna be all kind of hilarity. Let me see here. Can you put a monitor on the Android phone with the storage and a gimbal and a mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't have, and it's funny because I should have had my bag here. There is there? No, it's not. Shift cam. Well, you said a gimbal. So did he say a gimbal?
Yeah, John's pretty much saying he wants to see kind of that whole rig set up, right? If you got that,
Can you take me off screen and I go run and see if I can grab mine, or you think that might be too much?
no, you go do what you got to do. You know,
Well,
while
look at
while
God.
I do this quick interlude while this man goes and does what he has to do. Appreciate y'all for joining. While he's doing that, I will go through some of these other comments. Hot air balloon time. Not gonna happen solo. Not gonna happen. Price point for the monitor. This monitor was listen. Shouts out to Walmart. I got this so they have one which is a name brand one called iSelfie, and I believe it's 150 something like that. I think I got this one at Walmart for like 129. Right. I didn't have any patience. I didn't want to wait too long, so this came in like 3 days. So yeah, that's about the price for this external monitor right there. Appreciate you, Florence. Yeah, definitely. If y'all could help us help the algorithm as we bring this content to you. Two brothers really breaking it down and just unbiased conversations about technology. This is what we do. And see, Matt over there putting the thumbs up. He being funny. He know where to put the thumbs up at. But okay, we'll get you. Which mobile phone has the best camera, or is it the user more than the phone? You answered the question right there, brother. All these phones can shoot in 4K 120, 4K 60, 4K 30 from a video perspective. All of these phones, these new phones, Pixels, iPhones can shoot in HDR, can shoot in high resolution. So if you know something about white balance, if you if you don't know something about white balance, if you know the exposure triangle, if you don't know the exposure triangle, have an app that'll actually help you do that to actually color correct and do a lot of those things. It's all in the user because the phone doesn't make you any better. The camera doesn't make you any better. The app doesn't make you any better. You actually have to understand, read the manual and understand and go out, test and iterate, fail, learn what you failed from, then get back up. So long answer short, all of these cameras and phones do very similar things. There's some additional AI features and functionality built into the actual Pixel from Google, not just necessarily the other Android phones, but I'm seeing more AI features and functions built directly into some of the Android phones, whereas there are apps on the iOS side that you have to install. But again, that's more for background blur, background remove, doing different types of color filters and things of that. They all do very similar. Learn those tools, learn those apps, learn that infrastructure that you got, and you'll be able to create great memories for yourself and the folks that are around you. You ready in the background, brother?
Yeah, it's always funny because when you're looking for something, you can never find it.
Mm-mm.
So my shift cam can't find it, and it's
Can't
funny
find
because
shift cam.
can't
What
find the
in the
shift cam.
shift?
I mean, no, not the shift cam, the small rig. Can't
Mm.
find that, but I do have the shift cam. So I got a couple of devices here. I forgot the name of this product here. That's a shame. I was so happy when this thing came out. But
Oh,
you
that's
remember
the the solo pod, right?
something like that?
Yeah.
Something pod, switch pod.
Switch pod. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got this for Christmas. Went to a party 3 days later, 2 days later, and lost it, and had to go back, and was leaving to go to London and Morocco, and bought this one at B&H. I guarantee you,
You're
it
not
coming
gonna
out
lose
of
that
my
one.
it came out of my pocket. I guarantee you, I didn't lose. I guarantee I did
Not
not
gonna
lose this one. And I've
not
had
gonna
this
lose
one
that.
ever since. I was so mad about that, man. I drove back to the venue and they was like, I'm sorry, it's not here. I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
So
Solo said, while you doing that, Solo said he got an email from SanDisk about the new products and he got their press kit too. Yeah, they were talking the truth at NAB, man. And it was good to see you there as well, brother. But yeah, SanDisk was
so
definitely locked in on the creator ecosystem. So that's gonna be nice come holiday time when they start fully launching and rolling out all those products.
so something like this with
Mm.
Switch Pod, you put
Hmm.
this on the camera and you got your port here plugged in, and then you turn around, and so this is by SmallRig as well. It's the same as this two-pan device, right? Same thing. It's pretty much the same thing, just a longer cord with this one. And you basically plug this in the back. And I don't like the fact that it's dangling, if that makes sense. But if you have it on the switch pod, I mean, excuse me, on the small rig, their universal kit, they have a piece here that you can connect it to, if that makes sense. So once you slide it in here, and then you go and it slides into the shift, not the shift camera, the small rig, universal kit, and then it'll stay there, and then from that point you can run your power delivery. Well, this one has, yeah, it does have power delivery. It has a USB 2.0, as USB 2.0 on the other side, and a USB 3.1. So it has 4 ports on this side for this device. And then for shift cam, you turn around, take that device, what do you call it? MagSafe.
Hmm.
And now you're shooting just like this as if it's a regular camera. And then so now you hook your microphone here with the Hollyland mics or the Ceramonic mics. Take the port here. I'm sorry. Take this device here, plug this in.
Got the man
Plug.
doing live demos. Don't get to sweating now. Got the man
So now
doing live
I
demos.
got a shift cam, I got the Hollyland, and I also have the storage all right there, and I'm shooting.
That's it. Much easier on your back. And I do remember, yeah, what awesome fun thing. That's right, because
And it
Pat
can go
Flynn was
vertical.
part of the company. Well, he was part of the co-creation of the Switch Pod. That's why we all love and appreciate that
Yeah.
apparatus.
So, and then the cool thing with Switch Pod, I mean, excuse me, Shift Cam. I don't know why I keep getting these names messed up, but the cool thing about Shift Cam is it can go vertical, or you can turn it and it can go horizontal, and it sits flush on your phone. It's not coming off. It's not gonna. I mean, you can shake it hard as God knows what, but for Android phones, you have to have a MagSafe case, whereas with iPhones, you can just go right off to the back of the phone with the
Yeah.
MagSafe technology.
Yeah. I got the which one do I have? I've got that the real big one and I the Pro Grip.
You
And
got the one with the handle, where you put where it
yeah, yeah, that's the one I have right there, the Pro Grip. And it's too big.
mm,
It works, but again, trying to be mobile, trying to be light, that for me that's too much. So I bought a third party one that's just like what you have, that just has the trigger, right? So that just has the MagSafe, and boom, I can connect that and use USB to set off the shutter.
sounds good.
Yeah, but shift cam is the truth. Maybe we talked about this, and now I'm remembering. I'm gonna write it down. We should really do a buyer's guide for mobile technology, just for the apps,
Yeah.
the software, and the hardware that we recommend, and put that out there, because we're getting a lot of good questions about the stuff that we're using, and especially because they're different use cases, different platforms, and there could be value in that. So,
Somebody like Elisa Maria would appreciate something like this because she's not gonna go out and buy a professional camera. She's not gonna go out and buy the heavy duty tripod and the expensive lights. She's not gonna do that. But she will use her iPhone,
mhm,
and if you can say I can get a quality microphone that I can mic to myself, right? Take this Hollyland mic, for example. You see how small this is? She'll take this and then she can mic this to her shirt,
mhm,
and then she can do her her talks. See how small that is? You know, whereas if I go take the Ceramonic, not trying to say anything bad about either brand or the other, but you see this one, I gotta plug this, and most people have this one. Well, the good thing about Ceramonic is they have the magnets, but you're gonna plug this to where it's on the back of the, I mean, on the shirt, and then now you see a lot of people. This is what you see a lot of people doing today. They got this big square that's sitting on the shirt, and whereas this is a smaller piece here, whereas that's a big square on your shirt, and you're sitting there having a conversation. So, do you want to have this big old piece sitting on your shirt or on your jacket, or do you want something like a small lavalier mic
yeah.
connected to your clothing? So, I mean, there's no one particular one that's the best. Everyone's going to say go with Shure, go with the name, but there's other companies that are out there. And don't get me wrong, all of these brands are great. I have these products because I believe in them. James has these products because he believes in them. And and there's nothing wrong. But I will say, sure is creme de la creme. So we're not gonna, they are the Michael Jackson stamped approved,
Mm.
but other ones are, they're making a name for themselves as well, and they're basically putting their dent in the universe when it comes to
Oh yeah,
mobile
boy.
audio.
Everyone has their own use case. Everyone has their.
Yeah.
Yep, love it. I mean, so I got the ceremonics that you got, and again, this will be part of that buyer's guide that we'll put together. The ceremonic ultras. Then I also put up the Hollylands. Hollylands are the truth, folks. I mean, again, just like Tallboy was saying, yeah, I always talk about Shure because all transparency, I work with Shure and I'm a brand ambassador with them. But look, DJI has the truth too. I got a lot of
Mhm,
DJI gear back here, and
mhm.
they work seamlessly with other parts of their ecosystem. So it's dependent on the use case. And just like you were saying, do you want to have that little brick on your shirt, or do you would rather be less conspicuous and have something smaller that doesn't necessarily look like you're everybody else? You know, like everyone's walking around with a little microphone in their hand. You don't necessarily want to look like that. You want to be unique. You want to be individual. And we have guidance around products and solutions that do the thing out there. Ceramonic has a wire that has a small mic. Let's see which one would. Yes,
That's the new one.
yeah, that's yeah. See, look, see, John. No, he got. He must be an insider as well. Y'all go check out Davidson's All Natural Gym. Yeah, my man out there doing his thing. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I know it's hurting him right now because we still in vertical, but that's what we doing here. He's
We
happy
only
when
got how many more episodes before we go back before we take this break? How many more episodes we got? This one and one more, right? So next
I
week
believe so because we had to skip a week because I was at NAB. But let me see here. Let's look right now
how many
too.
people can actually get on the live stream? I know we did 4 well, we had 2 guests last week,
Yeah,
but how many people total can get on?
comfortably, I can pull up this screen right here. So yeah, it looks weird right now, but I would prefer to have so one, two, three, four, total of 6 people. So us two right here, and then outside of that are 4 other folks, and then the top area for this round table scene that I built is the active speaker. So we can have up to 10, but comfortably to where it's not too busy on the screen, we could do 6 people without any problems at all. And this is what it would look like.
So do you wanna do for next week, John and
He
anybody
ain't coming.
else?
He's not coming though. He playing hard to get. He just look at him.
Ha
Vertical hurts.
John and anybody else that would like to come on. We need about what you said, uh,
Yeah,
4
if we get
people.
4 more folks. Yeah, we get 4 more folks. We'd be
Yeah,
real
4
dope.
more people. Reach out to myself or reach out to James if you're interested on being a guest next week. So we can see what it looks like from a vertical standpoint. You'll be a part of our social experiment. And that way we can have a roundtable. We did it with 4 people, but he said we can add an additional 2. So I mean, we've done some 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 good things on this show and some key takeaways. We know that we can do real time polling. Where we did the QR code, we had the what is that the back room or the meet and greet room that
Yeah,
we had with the tables. Then we had the 4 people. I mean, like I said, and then the crazy thing about it was when we started this, nobody else was doing vertical live streaming until I saw Gil's Arena do it, and then they've only done one.
yeah. They
So
even came out and said no, this was just a test. They weren't actually planning on doing anymore. That's
yeah,
true.
so we've done 9 episodes, and they've only done one. So let the record reflect that we were doing this first before anybody else. I don't care how much money they got.
Put it
We
in the
just had
bucket and send it into
yeah,
the line.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's
We,
see.
we
Florence is saying, is that Zoom or is that interview mode? Yeah, it's Zoom. It's Zoom for Ecamm, Florence. So that's how I would do it.
oh, so this is all done through Zoom.
It's done through Ecamm. Ecamm has a direct integration with Zoom.
Mm.
So yeah, it all interrelate. It all just works seamlessly together. So there is a Zoom, um, not kernel, but there's a Chrome version that's built into Ecamm. So I don't necessarily have to launch Chrome. Long answer short here, but yeah, Zoom is actually built into Ecamm as well, to where I can launch.
If I play a YouTube video, would that give us a copyright strike?
It would get a yeah.
I
It
wanted
would
to,
definitely give us a mark. It would definitely
it would because I wanted to show you what I
turn the
wanted to show.
audio off. Well, listen. It is what it is. It's been a good month for on YouTube, so I can take a hit.
You say you can take it.
I
Well,
can take I can take one hit. I ain't gonna take too many hits, but
it's a YouTube video. Do have it on mute, so I'm going to
all
share
right,
the screen
all
here.
right. You scaring
And
screen.
let me see. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. We gotta minimum
Hold
25
on. Your audio is garbled.
people.
Yeah, we can hear you, but your audio is garbled.
Why the audio is horrible that it can hear. But yeah, so this is what I look for. Obviously, you gotta have guest that is
No,
short.
hold on. It was horrible. It was not even we couldn't comprehend anything that you were saying. It was like you were talking through a computerized voice.
That now.
Yeah, it's still happening right now. So maybe shut down that screen share.
Okay. On that bad. I didn't. It's that.
No, still no good.
Wow.
You
Wow.
done broke.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, sounds like Mr. Roboto. That's what it sounds like.
okay.
Oh, you
I'm
back?
still
All right,
back.
you back. There you go.
Don't touch nothing.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
touch
Maybe
nothing,
that was
brother.
maybe that's karma, right? Saying that they would you save that screen share for Lab Tech show tomorrow, and you do that
No,
on
I'm
your
not doing
channel.
it. No,
Oh,
I'm
you
not
gonna
doing it.
okay? You don't want to do it over there. You want to do it over here, where
No.
the
Okay,
pie
so
is
go to
split.
YouTube. Okay, here, I'll send you the YouTube link. You can look at it yourself, and then you
Okay.
can say that's hot on your own. Is that
All
how
right.
about that? I sent you the other message inside of
Yes, I
your
see.
platform
Okay.
back
Let me see here. Yeah.
there. Okay, so I just sent you a new one just now. You can play it. Make sure it's muted before you press play.
Lord have mercy, y'all pray for me. Tell some jokes or something. I don't know. Let me
There you
see.
go. And then you want to fast forward to let me see. You want to fast forward to about the 2 minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you sent me this before. Where you
Yeah.
want me to go?
No, just kind of show that the concept. You don't have to show the step by step process, but towards the end of the video, I guess. I don't.
So, how to change your Zoom gallery design using NDI, using Zoom integrated with vMix. So, yeah, I've seen.
So basically, you
Excuse me, I've
have
seen this
guests in the
gallery
background.
before.
So yeah, you have 20. You can have up to anywhere from 25 to 50 people, and you can have an in studio audience, and you can switch back and forth with your audience, and then you can make them. From my understanding, you can make them a spotlight speaker. Select the one that you want to select as a spotlighted speaker, but then they're an audience member, and you can see them on the screen. Now the thing is, you got to get people to come on the Zoom and show their faces as opposed to having the camera off because that's not going to look good.
Right.
I saw Oprah do this, and I was like, "Wow, how did they do this?" And I found a plug-in to be able to make this work, and from there, the sky has been the limit.
Dope.
So
That's dope.
I think it works with Ecamm as well. I do know it works with OBS, but I think I saw something with Ecamm. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm. Now I'll take a look at it, but probably not for this next one we got coming up.
Oh, no, 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 no. We don't have enough people. You gotta have a minimum of 25 people to come in on the Zoom
They'd be willing to
to be
come up because we
able.
got the audience. Now don't get it twisted. We got the audience, but just enough
No,
people
but,
to show up.
well, okay, okay. Alright.
Come on, don't
Well,
put
if you
yourself.
would
Don't put
like to
yourself
be a
short.
guest for next week's show, please send myself or James a message, and, we would welcome you to be a guest on the season finale of, Rebooted. That makes sense. That's fair.
Can you show John how you did that roboto voice, even though it wasn't playing? You
I
got
didn't
your
do anything. All I
you,
did was share the screen. That's all I did. Sir, I did not do anything. Now I can turn on some voices, but I know James doesn't really care for that too heavily. So, James likes to have see, now he wanna play. Alright. Now he wanna
that was
play.
it. That was it. Okay, the only buttons that I'm gonna press. Okay, I,
I'm being good. That's all I can say.
I'm not the DJ, right? You know, I'm not a big trigger guy. Only play him once in a while. I don't want to distract. All right, brother. We did what we had to do, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Uh, Rebooted April 22nd. Had a look at the day. We are rounding the corner here on this experiment. I'll let you take us home, but I just wanted to say this one thing. We rounded the corner on this experiment that we've been doing, and again, it's been dope. It's been pretty successful. I know we've had a couple of bumps in the road, but we've learned from it, gotten better. Very seamless stream. All these platforms that we're on, making it seamless for people to engage and interact. It may be hard to look at sometimes when we're showing web pages or things like that. But when it's just two up like this, or when it was a four up like we had the last week with our guests, shouts out to Myron and Tamara. That I think that was just dope. Um, we'll see what it's gonna do. We'll see if we're gonna keep doing it. But I just want to say before you close this out, appreciate you guys for joining us on this ride because me and this guy right here, we've been at this for a minute. We've been at this thing, content creation, for a minute, and starting to see even more fruits of the efforts. Like I said, because April was a dope month for me. Selfish. April was a dope month for the channel. Just to see some of the hockey stick in terms of growth, and I don't take that lightly, and want to continue to show up and bring value. So that being said, take us home, brother.
Thank you guys for supporting what we do, whether it's for 5 seconds or you watch the whole show. I definitely appreciate it. This is an experiment. We wanted to see if it could work. As we say this every week, we thank you for it. I like the innovation. I like to try and stay ahead of the curve. And I want to be the first when it comes to cutting edge technology. And I understand a lot of people are not going to embrace it immediately, but that brother that's below me, he is one of the first ones that I know that I can confidently call and say, "Hey, I got some new software out. Let's try it out." And no questions asked. If he got 5 minutes, he gonna give me that that might turn into an hour. And that's kind of where we are here. So with that being said, thank y'all for being a part of it, and thanks for interacting and having a good time with us. So this is what we do. It is rebooted.